Going on, everyone? Welcome to episode number 70 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast. This is the Creator Series. Today I talked with a really incredible singer-songwriter. His name is Oli-J. Me and Oli got connected, I believe, last March, so right around the time that the pandemic happened. And we were originally talking about meeting up in LA when I was originally going to take the trip last year. But that didn't work out. We haven't been able to link up yet, but it was good to finally get to, talk to him in a different type of setting because we've normally just been messaging back and forth through Instagram and text. Today, I got to know a little bit more about him. He talked about the time where he moved from Nashville, where he's based out of, to LA, and the amount of connections he made when he did that. And he really kept hitting on the point of, getting out of his comfort zone, which is a huge thing that we all have to kind of get over, especially in music or in art in general. It's like you get into a habit of doing things over and over and over again, and if you're comfortable, you don't want to leave. Well, you'll never be able to evolve if you don't continue to change and grow and try new things. So I really enjoyed his outlook on that. He talked about a lot of the releases he has coming up, working with several DJs, and kind of how he's been transitioning genres. He's moving more into the house and EDM world, which I think is very unique, especially for someone with his type of voice. I encourage you all to go listen to his music that he has out there. He's had a few releases this year, and I'm looking forward to all the things he has going. He's got big plans, has a lot of other business ventures in mind for himself that are really cool and unique. And I just appreciate his time, and I'm looking forward to hopefully getting to meet him in person very soon. So without further ado, let's get into this episode. All right, welcome everyone to episode number 70 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast. This is the Creator Series. Today we have an incredible singer-songwriter. Love this guy's voice. I discovered this guy last year, I think close to when the pandemic started. We originally got connected. His name is Oli-J. How are you, man?
I'm good. Just enjoying the wonderful Nashville weather right now.
Absolutely. And like I said, I'm glad to get you on the show finally and kind of get to have this conversation for the first time, because obviously we've been talking back and forth through messages and stuff like that, here and there when we can. Obviously, you got a lot of stuff going on and everything. But, to start every show off, we have the guests kind of give a little bit of background, how you got into music, how long you've been doing it, just the basic information for those that might not be familiar with you and what you do.
Well, so I started writing at a very, very young age, probably like 4 years old, 5 years old. Started writing theme songs to books that I created and drew out and wrote. But I never took music seriously when I was younger, so I never had a focus on what my voice was and what my real genre was. I officially started really working my music probably, honestly, 3 years ago as an artist. I've always been singing. I always been listening to different styles of artists and been studying ways of writing, and always been writing many songs for different people and different artists any chance I get. But for my own music, my personal structure, my own sound has finally just started to awaken. I'm working with a house label out in LA, and it really has been a profound blessing for me, honestly. It's helped me find structure in a lot of different areas of house genre music, and I have been able to work with many different DJs and producers to construct my album and also to be on features. So I'm very excited to put out this music to the world, and it's just finding even more of my sound and creating a big catalog for me and for my own journey as an artist.
Yeah.
So
it's cool to
I have a
see.
very weird line.
Yeah, for sure. It's cool because, like, I remember, I forget what the EP was that I discovered you on. I think it was, like, your solo project that you put out in, like, 2019.
Yeah.
And that, yeah. I knew that was, like, a kind of a different vibe and, like, a different style. So now I think the newer stuff's, like, on a totally different wave, like you said, so.
Yes,
yeah.
It's totally different. It's not house, even though I do have house music. It's mostly singles. My album that is being created right now, and it's basically almost done. I'm putting the final touches on it. It's like if you used to put Sade and The Weeknd and Prince all together, and boom, you have me. Nice. That is kind of my style. I have a very powerful voice, very powerful vocals, but I'm also very smooth and flexible with the way that I can sing.
Yeah.
And it creates a very different structure of lyrics and melodies that I can hear in my head and create from sounds to give to producers, and I can also produce myself. So.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that. I think I remember you saying that you had produced some of your first EP or a little bit of it. You kind of like led the direction a bit of it, so.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote all the lyrics, and it was my best friend who produced it for me. Obviously, I, showed him or sung to him how the melody should be and like what instrument should be in it, and we kind of played around with it, and it came to life. Now, if I was to do it, if I was to recreate all those songs again, as the artist I am now, it would be even better. I can hear so much more. I can create so much more, and it would reflect what my album is sounding like now to what the EP can also sound as. Something very innovative and new.
Yeah, that's interesting. So obviously for songwriting, I know that means that the style has probably changed for songwriting as well as the production has changed and kind of the energy has changed. So for you, how do you approach songwriting? Is there ever been a specific way that you've done it? Has it just been always like pen and pad or on your phone, or like does it not really matter? Like do you go based off each circumstance? Like how does that work for you?
Well, I've always been a pen and pad boy. When I was younger, my pastor's wife gave me a really nice songbook. It has a picture of a train on it. It's filled completely. Every page is filled completely with songs, back to back. I find it much more better to really write out the lyrics. It helps me feel the emotion of what I'm writing, and I sometimes I have now been like moving to like writing on a laptop or sometimes writing on my phone. But that's if I'm in like the spur of the moment. If I like have a quick inspiration, I'll write it on my phone. If I'm typing it up, that's for professionalism to send off to people or to create lyrics for online websites. But when it comes to really writing lyrics, the structure that I come up with depends on the emotion and the mood, the vibe. I do try to keep it straightforward, like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. That's a typical pop structure.
Yeah.
But with so many elements of our emotions, you don't always have that structure, like jazz, blues, country even, storytelling. You don't always have a structure. Sometimes the chorus comes first, which I have some in one of my songs. Sometimes I go based off of mood. So I would have a verse in the chorus, but then I kind of just let the structure flow out to really fill the void. For example, like Sade, she has a song called The Mermaid. It's literally just her kind of vibing over the song. It's not really a lot of lyrics, it's just instrumental. But that's a structure in itself. Smooth Operator, it's one of my favorite songs by her. It has a standard structure, but when she does it live, obviously they extend it. That's how I write my songs. I want people to really ride the melody and feel, the emotion and just enjoy it. I write my songs with meaning and thinking. I just wanted to be able to relate to other people when I write these lyrics.
Yeah. Is there ever like a timetable for like how long you take on a song? Have you ever taken like a very short amount of time, like say half an hour, or is it like you spend a few days on songs just to make sure they're right and you feel good about them?
I have spent a couple of days on some songs. Like I wrote a song called Black is Beautiful. It took me a week to write it because I really wanted to have the lyrics reflect what Black culture is. I wrote a song, my song that's released on Fantastic Voyage, Stay With Me. I wrote it in 5 minutes. Benny, who is an amazing producer, Benny Bridges, he sent me the track at like 10 o'clock at night. I couldn't sleep because I had the track stuck in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote the song at 11 o'clock at night, and I sent it right to him. He was like, "This is awesome." And now it's being played over in freaking the European countries. It's being played over in Korea. It's a really good song. Hopefully it'll be on the radio stations here, but you know, take its time.
It's so crazy how the process works sometimes, because it's really like some of the songs that it only takes a few minutes, those end up being some of the bigger songs. And it's like some of the other songs, it's like you might take a lot of time and you never know what will happen with those, but it's like each process is different and unique. So I think that's what always makes it cool. You know what I mean? So
yes.
Yeah. So you mentioned Sade, obviously, probably one of your bigger influences in music. So I'm curious to know who else, like artists that you listened to when you were younger, maybe artists that you listen to now. It could be new, old artists. Who are some of your favorite artists that made you want to get into music?
So when I was younger, I typically didn't like music as much, even though I did sing a lot and I did write a lot. I actually didn't listen to that many artists. I kind of steered away because of my religious views when I was younger, growing up as a Christian. And so it kind of like deterred who I was as an artist when I was younger, and it really killed my focus. So I listened a lot more gospel than anything. And even then, I really didn't listen to as much gospel. But growing up, probably when I got to middle school, I started listening to Chris Brown when he was emerging. I really loved Aaliyah. Like I said, Prince. I loved Cascada. I really, really love Cascada. She's probably one of my favorite dance electronic artists, like ever, that I love to listen to. I love DJ Raban. He is from the European countries. Gigi Go. He's also a DJ. He's a dance artist. I really love Cherish, really great girl group that emerged from the R&B scene. And Brandy. I am so in love with Brandy. I've watched Cinderella so many freaking times when I was a kid, and she was just so beautiful and astounding, and her voice is so angelic, and she inspires a lot of my riffs and runs that I do throughout my singing. And we can't forget about Whitney Houston.
Oh,
right? Yeah. If I could belt a C6 just like she can, that would be a miracle. Yeah. I mean, I can get up there, not up there, but I have a pretty high register. But those are some of the artists that kind of just shaped me as who I am as of now. Lyric wise, singing wise, what I hear in my head, melody wise. I'm kind of just all over the place. I'm a very versatile artist, but I do have my own style as well.
Is there any of those people that would be like a dream collaboration? Like if you ever could do a song with them?
Oh, yeah. Brandy and Sade.
Okay, yeah.
Brandy and Sade.
Yeah.
Like,
they're both like timeless artists too, you know what I mean? Like their music just is, it's going to live forever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's incredible.
I don't even know if Sade is ever going to make any more music, but if she did, and if I could meet her, I would definitely ask. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah, exactly. So, obviously, you said you're from Nashville, right? And you've been back and forth through LA and stuff like that. So, I'm curious to know, what was the original motive behind going to LA for a bit? Was it just for connections and just to kind of get things moving? Or what was the real, like, reason for that originally?
I started going to LA after my dad passed away. I didn't realize I had family that lived up there, which is my auntie and 3 cousins, which is her kids. So I started vacationing up there, you know, to get to know my family more and stuff. And I was like, I could probably live here. I know it's expensive, but I could probably live here. And I never took my word seriously. I was so focused, you know, being here in Nashville and trying to advance my career in vet medicine and just stick to that. Well, also while cooking. But with me studying medicine, I never really like focused on my music. I never like released song after song after song, or just had time to just focus on me. So when 2019 came and I lost my job at a vet clinic, I was like, you know what, F it. I just left. I just left Nashville with the little money that I had, went up to LA, got me a job in a month, and been there ever since. And it's weird because I'm really living out there. Like I'm literally living out there right now, doing what I always wanted to do here in Nashville, even though I know it's really not my scene for my music because it's really country and hip hop underground based. And so I never felt comfortable to really do music. But I needed to push myself. I needed to make myself uncomfortable. And it definitely worked because I met a connection after connection after connection after connection after connection. And now I'm working with like 4 different labels. I met so many DJs, so many artists, and I'm working with so many people, and I'm doing so much music that it's not released yet. Except for one, I got another release coming up now in October with my label. But I had to push myself. I had to go. I had to find out who I can be, because then I'm never going to make it if I stayed where I was. I had to get really uncomfortable. I had to figure out the struggle of who I am on the inside. And it's definitely a journey for me.
It's always crazy, especially in music. I think that's the biggest hurdle, is getting out of your comfort zone, because it's a lot of times, especially when you find like a good groove in something you're doing and you continue to do it, it's like, this is awesome, but there's always more that you can do. So it's like you got to kind of have that conversation with yourself sometimes to be like, we got to move this forward. We got to figure out how to evolve this and make it better. So for you, that was kind of what that was at that time. You know what I mean? And now you're seeing the results pay off. At the time, though, it's like you're taking the risk. You don't always know how that's going to end up. But, yeah, it's definitely something that a lot of people gotta figure out how to do on their own. And everybody's journey is different, too. So it's like, you can always look at other people's like stories and be like, oh, I can do this, what they did, but it's like it won't end up the same way for you. So you just gotta,
no, it definitely won't, because like it's taken a lot of it's taken so much mental power and to say, because I found my first job in a month. You know, I had to live on what I had. I only brought $500 out to LA, kind of like Taraji P. Henson. When she moved out to LA, she brought like $500. And she made it as an actor. I literally, that's all I had too. And I'm trying to make it, you know, as the best artist that I can be. And I had to go through, and I need to go through what I'm going through right now to blossom as Oli-J. I mean, I am very blessed to have met that one dude who's a friend now at my job. That led to another person, that led to another person, that led to another person, which is my EP. And then I was like, we got to have you. And then through that, I'm working with people in freaking Taiwan, in freaking Berlin. I have a song out in Barcelona with a very great DJ, Mateo, who's dope as crap, who is, I forgot, his label name is Vogue. And I have a song on his record called Shaking Things, and he's literally saw all his vinyls just like a couple of weeks ago, and I'm proud to say I'm on that, you know, because I freaking finally pushed myself to realize that I can't do this, but I had to get uncomfortable, and I gotta fight through all the doubts I have every single day. It's not always easy, you know.
Yeah. Totally feel you there, man. Well, shout out to you for taking the leap of faith, man, because, you know, that's what it's all about, and just keep doing that, man. Like, each time you're presented with that, just keep doing it, keep pushing forward, because you're doing great things right now, I can tell. So,
thank you.
Yeah, no problem,
Appreciate
man.
it.
So I don't know how much live performing you've been able to do. I don't know if you were doing some before the pandemic at all, or maybe now. Is there anything you're looking forward to about eventually being able to do live performances with all the material you got?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to singing my new song with Justin J. Um, it's called Colors. It's not out yet, but it's coming out. Um, I don't I, I don't want to spoil it. It's coming out in a couple of months. I'll say it's coming out probably like a month. And we worked on this song like last year, but we obviously been very busy doing a lot of things.
Mm.
Also got a couple more songs with him. I'm really excited to perform with everyone that I've been working with. I never performed house music live, but I really feel like this is the energy that is within me to do it, and it's so natural, and I'm excited. I was supposed to perform for Dirty Bird camp out, no, or camp in, because it was his barbecue camp in, and it was taking place at Exposition Park out in LA. Clive Von Stroke, he's the owner of Dirty Bird, and Justin J was playing edit at that time. He wanted me to sing, but sadly I couldn't sing because I was sick.
Oh,
and
man.
it sucked. And I was like, Justin, let me see if I can hit a note or two and I'll call you back. And I was like, I can't do it. Can't do it. It sucked so bad. Yeah. It was a huge crowd. I mean, Dirty Bird, Clive on Stroke, he has the biggest EDM label as of now. He started it should be 10 years now. He started 10 years ago with his wife, Andi. She's awesome. She's like listed in Forbes as one of like the most influential business women to like exist right now. Mm-hmm. And you know, she's a force. She's a force, and I'm lucky to know her. She loves me very much, but I can't wait to perform the songs that I have and see the impact that I can do.
Mm-hmm. So, it's going to be nice.
Just take some time.
Yeah, it's going to be nice, too. I think, obviously, in the next few years, as things open up more and more, hopefully we get back to more and more crowds and things like that, and you'll be able to actually, like, see, like, how people are reacting to these songs as well, and that's probably the best part about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And I got to be confident about it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to that, man. Hopefully I can see a show one day. Because I feel like, especially all the new stuff, like, I feel like the energy, like you said, the energy will be high and everything, and it'll be a great atmosphere for sure. So obviously, you know, you said you're about 3 years into, you know, taking everything seriously, and you met all these people. Is there anything that's like been a piece of advice that you've ever gotten from someone that is stuck with you as far as how to approach your career and kind of how to be able to continue to evolve and last and thrive as a musician?
That's a great question. So I've had so many conversations. Let me see if I can. I was talking to one of my friends. His name's Jordan. He's also producer / DJ. He's from Ohio, actually.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and he's been in LA along with his best friend for 5 years, and they own the label The Poorhouse. And he was like, man, if we didn't go, he obviously experienced the same thing that I've experienced, but he was much more developed before moving out to LA because he was obviously DJing in like Chicago a lot. He was DJing in Ohio and everything. But it was like this sense in his mind that what he was doing there, you know, he needed to like transition and get away because he was so stuck. And it's funny because I've heard this from a lot of the conversations that I've had with many people that I've been meeting. And I think it's something just with the genre of dance, EDM, techno, just house music in general.
Mm.
It's not. It's a big genre. It is a very huge genre, more huge over in Europe. Um, but to really go for it out here in the U.S., you got to take charge of yourself. So I'm learning to just take charge. No one's gonna do it for me.
Mm.
Justin said it himself. I even had a conversation with Claude, and he said it himself because when he founded Dirty Bird, he asked his wife, "Hey, if the money that you're giving to start this label doesn't succeed in a year, I'll stop." Well, look where it is now. And yeah, everyone's like, you gotta take charge.
Mm.
It's a whole other ball game in this realm of music,
Yeah.
and as an artist. And then I may be able to I can still transition to be like an R&B pop artist and anything that I want. But this is like really helping me find my footing and setting, and just enter the world of creativity and music in this industry.
Mm.
So yeah, all the advice that I've been given is like, you just gotta go.
Mm.
You literally just gotta go.
I always say that the number one thing is like you really have to be your number one supporter before anybody else is. You know what I mean? Like if you're not 110% in belief of what you're doing, what makes you think anybody else is gonna, be looking out for you? It's like you got to make them believe as much as you do, or at least close to as much as you do, because you have to be up there really rooting for yourself as much as possible. And like you said before, it's like there are always days where we're down on ourselves and we're like, man, what am I doing? Like, I don't have this, and this. I'm not where I want to be right now. But it's like as long as you can just push through and keep going, you're going to get there. It's just you have to, like I said, you have to just trust in what you're doing every day, put your best foot forward, and it'll work out. You just have to trust it'll work out. So, but yeah, I feel exactly what you're saying. It's definitely one of the hardest things to do, especially in what we do, you know what I mean, in music. So it's like, it's always good to have the reminder, though, from people and just be like, keep going, you know what I mean? So I think that's very important for sure. So I'm curious for you, obviously you said, you got a lot of music coming out, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be hearing this stuff. So what for you is something that you want people to, when they hear the music, to walk away with? What do you think is the lasting impact you want to have on listeners when they hear, what you're going to be putting out?
A new sound, With my album, it's definitely going to be interesting sounds, interesting structures. But I also want people to listen to the lyrics, because I wrote this whole album. It's a concept album. And I wrote it based on a real experience, but I know that it's something a lot of people can relate to, what I went through dealing with meeting someone new and having this feeling of love, but it's not really love. It's just getting there. When it comes to my house music, I just want people to feel the energy, feel the love, feel the connection, dance, have fun, feel the freedom in what it is to be in the realm of EDM, dance music, house music, techno, minimum, break house, tropical, anything in that world. Just be free, have fun, love the lyrics, keep listening to it.
Absolutely. So if you could go back 10 years ago, maybe give yourself a piece of advice, or maybe not change anything at all, what do you think you would do?
I would definitely change my focus. And what I mean by my focus, I mean that the things I'm doing now, I wish I was doing then. And, things happen for a reason. I'm here now for a reason. But if I had the possibility, I would definitely wish I was doing the things now earlier. Who knows where I'll be right now? If if I took myself seriously, if I gave myself a chance, if I was really confident, if I just said, I graduated college, but now it's time for me to step up and do my music. I got my degree, which I do. I want another degree. Actually, I want 2 more degrees, but I don't know when's the right time to go back. But there'll be a time. But I just wish I was doing my music so much harder, back then.
Yeah. So if we flip it then, and we say 10 years from now, where do you think you want to be in your career and in your life in general?
Right now?
Yeah, 10 years from now, from right now.
Oh, I'll be a star. I'm totally gonna be a star. I mean, I can act, I can dance, I can sing, I write, I cook. I got so many things I want to contribute to this world. I want to have a platform to where I can talk about, mental disabilities, and because I'm bipolar, and I know people a lot struggle with that, and I want to be able to give back to a lot of crises that are happening. I want to be able to give to the world. I want to start my cheesecake business for real. I want to really put a lot of energy into it. I can't right now. I kind of have been. I have clients, but making cheesecakes by yourself takes a lot of energy and time. I know there's something much more bigger for me that I can do, and I want to be there. I just gotta keep going.
Do you have any final words of wisdom today for the listeners?
If you don't go, you're going to be where you are now. And that sucks because there's this word called regret. And luckily, I don't have to regret that because I went. But I still got to keep going because the people who don't give up will make it. You may not be on the biggest scale, but you'll make it, and you'll see your happiness. You'll feel it, And if it's about money, F that. The money will come. Your happiness for what you really want to create and do is the most important. And it's a lot of inner struggle within yourself to release that inhibition and just go. You just got to go. No one is going to push you legit. They'll push you. People will push you, but it's your decision to really go and live in your truth. So, do you.
Well, Ollie, that's all I have for you today, man. Like I said, I appreciate the time. I'm looking forward to all this new music you got coming out. Keep being passionate about everything you're doing, man. I love, all the stuff you just said on today's episode. And like I said, thanks for the time. Looking forward to connecting with you very soon. Like I said, hopefully in March, man, we can link up finally.
Yeah.
But we'll see. And keep it up, man. Keep up the hard work. So.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for listening today. That was episode 70. We'll be back this time next week. As always, hit the support button on your podcast streaming platform if you'd like to send any funds. And feel free to leave us a 5-star rating if you enjoyed today's episode. So we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.